Welcome to the new episode of our documentaries about street art around the world.
Today we're in Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia.
This cat has been painted by a guy that comes from my hometown, Pordenone, in northwest of Italy. It's a couple of hours drive from here. Always depicts this kind of cats, and he has done a few ones obviously in Pordenone, in Venice and around. And there are quite a number here in Ljubljana. A piece of Pordenone, which is my small hometown that nobody knows here in Ljubljana.
In 2013, a local artist decided to paint this graffiti on the walls of the Academy of Music. And despite the fact that it was completely illegal, the Academy decided to keep the graffiti because it was promoting the music.
First impression, there are a lot of tags, there are a lot of writings, quite an underground culture, very difficult to decrypt from the outside. It's mostly about writing and tags, and that's why we need some help. We decided to take a graffiti walking tour led by a guy called Nemch, who helped us to better understand the graffiti culture here in Ljubljana.
If you do graffiti on the street, you want to be seen. This started basically in Slovenia in the 80s. After big influence from the United States, graffiti became the fourth element of hip-hop, besides DJing, breakdancing, rapping, and so we have also graffiti.
This is done by San, which is a local artist that is within the city center of Ljubljana. This is one of the few commissioned graffiti in town, and it represents the freedom of speech. But as you can see, some of the other graffiti artists were not really agreeing with the fact that San got paid. So they kind of started painting on top of it, just to make their own mark.
Crew is when graffiti writers get together in a collective. If you're in a group, it's much easier to do bigger interventions. You can take care of each other, so basically watch if somebody is coming. And they also need to be very good friends because they need to really trust each other, yeah? Because there is no snitching in this graffiti business.
This is Julien de Casabianca, and he's famous because he does face-ups of classic pictures, and he sticks them around urban context. This one is very cute, and it's also quite funny to see that the door probably hasn't been open for quite a while, because otherwise it would have been raked off over there.
This is like an abandoned bicycle factory called Rog. It's now occupied by a community. Very interesting is the mural behind me, which has been painted by Italian artist Blue, very famous one. It's a gun, and it's pointing towards the municipality because of the ongoing dispute for this land between the municipality and the community. We're walking towards Metelkova, which is a district near the train station. It used to be occupied by the Yugoslavian army. When they left in 1991, it was left empty and was occupied by a number of artists. And right now it's a social of urban community. Very colorful, very lively, but also very controversial because they don't own the land, and obviously with land price going up, it becomes quite attractive. And there is an ongoing dispute with the municipality. So we're going towards there, and let's see to find out how the place is.
Full name of this is the Autonomous City of Metelkova. After the independence of Slovenia in 1991, the Yugoslavian army left these buildings. Shortly after that, more than 200 organizations, people and activists asked the city if they can do a new cultural center here. The city agreed. People started to make their stuff here. But shortly after that, the city broke the promise, turning down the buildings and kind of renovating the area. Some people squatted what was left. and so basically they turned this place into a squat. And it still is a squat. After a few days, basically the city cut it off the electricity and the water, and basically turned Metelkova into a ghost town for more than a year. So only the toughest survive it. Nowadays you can see here a lot of different stuff happening. Mostly in the grounds there are like clubs and bars. The first floors they are mostly like artist studios, band rehearsal places. You have so a lot of different stuff are happening here all the time.
Conclusion about our trip to Ljubljana. The city has a thriving underground culture, pretty local, it's very difficult to decrypt. One important aspect of Ljubljana is the ongoing conflict between the municipality and the communities of artists that are living in Metelkova and in the Rog Factory. Obviously, it's like a kind of long debate of who belongs to the land and entitlement of artists to continue to live in a place that they occupied and they have developed over a number of years. Overall, it's a very interesting city. There is a lot going on, and I think there will be a lot going on in the future.